Good morning everyone, my name's Alistair Goodell from GT Driving School. This is my next video about some of the routes that you might take on your test if you were to do your driving test in Maidstone. So we're currently sitting in a car park that's only a couple of doors down from the test centre. It's an ideal place for the examiners to use for forward bay parking manoeuvres. However, it's not the quietest of car parks. It's got quite busy recently, and certainly over the holidays it tends to be absolutely heaving. So then sometimes they'll be able to use it, sometimes they won't, but it's certainly worth checking out if you ever do come this way, just to use it, just to see how it's like. Anyway, we're as I say, just down by the test centre, so what we're going to do is actually going to have a cheeky visit of the test centre, even though we're not supposed to park there or anything. We're just going to go past it, see where the test centre car parking spaces are for the reverse car parking manoeuvre, and then we'll go round the courtyard and back out again and down some of the various roads, Armstrong Road for instance, where they could potentially take you on your route as you start. We'll also have a look at a busy set of traffic lights which are just outside the test centre as well. So here we go, without any further ado, we'll move on. So I'm just checking around nice and quickly to see if there's anything moving. There wasn't anything. Now we're just going to pause here because I don't want to stop in the box and let this white car out of the car park. I'm just going to move forward and I'm going to turn left. So I'm going to check main and left, indicating left. Now there's a sweeper van that's in the way. I'm just having to edge forward and just be careful and cautious. Everything's fine. We've got a zebra crossing in front of me, so I'm checking that out. The jogger on the left is not going down that way. And then we've got a nice line of trees here on the left hand side. Between the last two trees is a little road, and we're going to turn left into that road because that's where the test centre is. You may see a little sign just coming up on the right that will tell you about the driving test centre. And then we're into this courtyard. So going round into the courtyard. It's full of other businesses, so it's not just for the tests. However, the car parking spaces just in front of us are for all the tests. Cars you might see on the left hand side of you are for the examiners. So there's our spaces, and you would have to reverse bay park into one of those if they asked you to do that. So we're just going to be gently coming round the courtyard and round and back out again. Now the little road under the bridge here is quite narrow, so you're going to have to keep to the left quite well, and we're just going to be turning left, so we're checking mirrors indicating down, and we're just going to wait for the bit of traffic. Looking good. I can gently come out, wait for the black car to move. Is he going to move? Doesn't seem to be, so I'm going to continue on my way. Thank you very much. Now we've got a roundabout here, fairly sizable roundabout for the amount of traffic that comes down this way, and we're going to turn right. It's the third exit, so I'm going to check main and right indicate upwards. I'm coming round. I'm going to keep on the inside of the roundabout because I'm taking the third exit. Coming round, so that's first, the second exit, and the jogger is now waiting. He's noticed I'm not going that way. I'm checking main and left indicating left down into Postley Road. Now it's a 20-mile-an-hour zone, you may have noticed, so we're just going to keep that speed nice and slow. There's a school coming up on the right hand side, that's the reason for that, and it is a little bit on the bumpy side, as you probably can see now as the camera jogs up and down. It's running the gauntlet a little bit here because you never know what's coming down all the way down, and it's difficult sometimes to read the traffic. But so you're looking at spaces left and right of you to try and see if there's anywhere where you can move over to, or where the oncoming traffic might go over to. As it is, we're okay. We can go over the white line, that's not a problem because there isn't enough room on our side. And I'll just check my mirrors main and left to get back on our side. The blue and white arrow tells us we can only go left. Triangle, upside down triangle telling me to give way. And we're coming to a dual carriageway. We're going to stay on the left hand side and I'm waiting for a little bit of traffic. This road, Postley Road, can be pretty busy at the best of times. Here we go, nice open space. And then we're going to carry on down the road, down to a set of traffic lights. We're keeping in the left lane, because ultimately we're going to take the next road on the left. We can't, or next available turning on the left. The next road on the left is actually a no entry. So the blue and white sign on the traffic lights telling you can only go straight ahead. Warning of school kids, and we've got the speed camera on the left hand side. I'm going to check mirrors indicate left here to take the next turning. Going round, quite a sharp little bend. Don't get confused by the no entry written on the road, it's upside down, so it means it's no entry for the guys coming toward you. This white car might pull out into the middle of the road thanks to the grey car, but that's fine. And now we'll keep on moving up, moving on. Just being aware that there's a car parked in the driveway there that's moving, he might reverse back. So I'm currently doing about 28 miles an hour, which is perfectly okay. We don't need to hit that 30. Looking at the parked cars on the left hand side, looking for any brake lights, indicators, doors opening, and big lorry coming our way. So I'm backing off, I'm just slowing it right down. I'm going to give it a little bit of brake. I'm just going to give him some space. I'm probably going to leave some space for this guy too, because it's a bit nasty. Then I can move on. Smaller vehicles, fine, no problem, they're keeping on their side of the road. However, those two lorries were well over the white lines, so I just let them have a bit more space. Now I'm going to be turning right up ahead, so we're checking mirrors indicating right, braking and stopping at the white line, checking left and right. Now the road on the traffic coming from the right of me, a bit difficult to read at times because they're coming right at me, and they quite often don't tell you until very late on as to whether they're turning. Yes, and just happening now. Got 2 or 3 cars coming from the right, one on the left hand side. After this dark blue one, we can move. Here we go, down the road. Now we're not going as far as the pedestrian crossing, the red traffic lights you can see. We're going to be turning left, so we're going to check main and left indicating left. Coming down, round and up the hill. Thanks to the various construction work that's going on around here, lots of parked cars on the left hand side, so I'm having to move out into the middle of the road. There isn't quite enough room for 2, so I would have definitely had to wait if there was something coming. At the moment we're good, we can come back again on the left. Moving on, moving up. Just again a bit of a squeeze here, so just being aware of anything coming around the corner like this one. Continue round, just getting back on our side of the road. No white lines to delimit the middle of the road, so I've just got to try and work out where the white line would be, and there's a little bit of a sort of weld between the 2 bits of tarmac, so I'm trying to keep on the left when there's a space. This is an ideal place up this hill to stop on the left and then move off again, which is a classic examiner trick. And then we'll just wait for here, and then we're going to move on up the road. A few parked cars here and there, just keeping an eye on everybody. Coming back down to Postley Road again, we're turning left, so main and left indicating left, following it round, Checking to the right, nothing there, so we'll carry on round to the roundabout that we originally saw. We're going to turn right here, third exit, so main and right. I'm moving over towards the middle, looking to the right, nothing there, so I can continue towards the right hand side. First, second, I'm taking the third turning, main and left, indicating left. Off we go again. The test centre is between the first two trees you see on the right hand side, so it's not actually the first road you see, it's the second one. So don't be indicating too soon. I'm obviously having to be in the middle of the road a little bit thanks to these parked cars. And we've got the zebra crossing to think about. Looking okay. Going past the car park now. Everything looks good. I'm going to come up to a set of traffic lights where we're going to turn right. So we're going to check mirrors and indicate upwards. Now technically it's a dedicated lane. There's white arrows saying right only. Do you have to indicate? Possibly not. The highway code will tell you that you don't have to. However, and the car in front of me is obviously not indicating at the moment. However, I personally would say if the examiner would ask you to turn right, or the sat-nav tells you to turn right, you indicate right. It's a lot easier to do it that way rather than saving your blushes at the end and thinking, oh, I should have indicated there, and possibly failing. So we're just hanging around waiting for the red lights. I'm keeping a nice distance of tyres and tarmac and the car in front, so I can actually see the traffic lights in front of me. Just waiting for them to go. Now when they do go green, they're going to be green on the other side of the road as well. So I've got to be a little bit wary about stopping in the middle of the road and looking for oncoming traffic. If there's nothing there, I don't have to stop. But I might also have to wait there until a green arrow tells me it's safe to go. So I'm just going to keep an eye on things. I'm about 5 cars maybe in the queue. So I might just wait this side of the white line at the traffic light, just in case I can't go through. So we're just moving up a little bit, and you can see that there's a bit of a queue. We're just waiting for the traffic lights. Now I've got a green arrow. Chances are I could go through, so I'm going to give it a go. We're into the middle, round to the right. Now there are 2 lanes to choose from. Always go for the left one, unless the examiner tells you different. And then we'll continue down the road. And then we're going to take the next road on the left. Okay, main and left, indicating left, slowing it down, round the corner. And then we're going to find somewhere convenient to stop. At the moment there isn't anywhere particularly convenient. I'm going to go over this bump, over the top, and then there's a little bit of a largish curb on the left, so I'm going to tell the van that's behind me I'm going to pull up on the left hand side. He's taking the signal and he's going past. There we go.